Okay, welcome everyone to this Partner Academy of June 2022. But a special one. It's not really something about the regular products, but we wanted to go through the basics of Veeam Cloud and Service Provider program or partners. I'm not going to use any slides today. I'm just using a PDF, which is the PDF of the Partner Starter Kit 2022. It's available to you, all partners also. I will send it afterwards. So it will be familiar when the session ends to you what we've seen today. So the topic of today is really just the basics of Veeam Cloud and Service Provider program. First, a small look at the market opportunity for partners who do not do anything as a service provider at this moment. We'll talk a little bit about the ProPartner portal and other resources that are available to you as a Veeam ProPartner or a Veeam service provider. A few words also about purpose-built products for service providers. So we all know the regular Veeam platform products, but as a service provider, you get access to at least 2 special products built especially for you to be able to enable your services as a service provider. Later on, the licensing, how it's licensed, how we gonna report our usage as a service provider, a few pages about marketing and sales resources, and then a FAQ afterwards. And we can also have a few words about upcoming releases in between, because this, with Veeam, it's always a little bit tricky to say when it's gonna release, because the famous phrase of Veeam is also always it's ready when it's ready. But in the second half of 2022, we still expect quite a few releases. Big release of Veeam Backup and Replication, mainly version 12, but also of the Veeam Service Provider Console, one of the purpose-built products for service providers. We expect quite a big release, version 7, but more on that later on. So the market opportunity, why Veeam powered services? One of the nicest things with Veeam is Veeam doesn't offer anything itself. Veeam is a software provider, let's say it, who gives you as a partner all the necessary software tools to deliver backup and backup as a service in this case, as a service provider. But Veeam doesn't offer, like other vendors, hardware or services directly in the cloud. No, they just give you the tools to set up a perfect service for backup as a service or disaster recovery as a service. But Veeam doesn't really offer the services themselves. So it's quite easy for you to start as a service provider and simply create backup as a service solutions to your customers, disaster recovery as a service, or even external storage as a service to your customers who don't have a secondary site or something to have an offsite backup easily, and who do not trust the public clouds for storing their data, whatever. A nice thing about Veeam is the multi-cloud support they have. So there is not just support for one public cloud, let's say Azure. No, they support AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, you name it. So you have a perfect choice and freedom in choice of where you want to build your solution or what you want to use as a solution for your customers. There are a few ways or route to market for Veeam products. The first one, the refer, it's not something we see in common. It's the refer method. Even as a Veeam partner, you can earn some money by referring customers to a partner who, delivers Veeam services, but that's not really something common. But the first one is, in fact, the resell possibility, where we see a lot of changes the second half of the year, also with perpetual offerings who will stop, and everything which will go to subscription way of selling it. But it's just selling. So we sell a subscription to our customers. They can install it, or you can install it for them. But in fact, the end user is the owner or the owner of the subscription. They can do anything with the software they want without consulting you. 3 and 4 are the service provider branches, where 4 is really you installing the solutions and reporting them as a service provider. In that case, it's you who manage everything at the customer and can use service provider licensing at the customer site, or build solutions in your data center like with the Veeam Cloud Connect, which we can talk later on. White labeling, the third one, is something you can put up for your colleagues, or how we should call it, meaning if you invested heavily in an infrastructure as a service provider, you can also white label the solution to other partners. So partners who do not own their own data center, or who do not want to heavily invest in infrastructure to host their services, they can work together with a VSP partner who did the investments, and then white label the solution as of them. Veeam Cloud offering. So Veeam offers cloud native solutions. We have support with Kasten for Kubernetes environments. We have support for, let's say, all the main public cloud vendors, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, IBM also now. And of course, Microsoft Office 365 or Microsoft 365. And within, short notice, probably also Salesforce. So that's cloud native support. So we can back up all things within those cloud native environments. But we can also extend the on-premise environment of the customer to the cloud, using it with cloud-based object storage, so that people have, or customers have, an external backup repository, so that if something happens completely, let's say their office is burned down, they still have a copy of the data in the public cloud. Immutability, quite important. We all know with ransomware, which encrypts your data, immutability. So you write once, read many system for people who know it, the worm. It's quite a nice solution. So once it's written, it can't be changed, can't be encrypted anymore. And direct to the cloud restore functions for cloud-based dev test, but also for production. So if you really lost your offices, you can restore virtual machines directly to, let's say, Azure, and run them there. And of course, on the right-hand side, we have quite an extensive, we have the whole portfolio of the Veeam products to our needs to build solutions as a Veeam service provider. We can do backup as a service within the data center of the customer. So if we have, we do the complete management of the backup environment in that data center. We can even use service provider licensing within that data center. We have backup services for endpoints with the Veeam agents for physical servers and desktops, where we can deliver solutions, especially with the Corona times. We work a lot of home or on the road more, or external to the company head offices. So there's a need to do the backups of the portables, the laptops of those users also. Cloud-powered failover. Already mentioned the Veeam Cloud Connect. We can use it as a backup repository, an external backup repository, but we can also use Veeam Cloud Connect as a disaster recovery tool, where we don't use it as a backup repository, but we use it for replication purposes. So we replicate the virtual machines. It's only for virtual machines at that moment. The virtual machines from the customer's infrastructure to our infrastructure as a service provider. When it's necessary, we can power on the failed virtual machines within our own data center as a service provider and give the customer access to them much more quickly. And of course, backup services for, we can enable them for Microsoft 365, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and so on. Use cases for BaaS and DRaaS, Veeam powered service for data center as endpoints. So we can simply manage everything at the customer side. So it's more a managed service partner. Backup, we can give them a possibility for offsite backup. So if they only have one site, we can easily with Veeam Cloud Connect give them an external backup repository if they don't want to place it directly in public cloud. And of course, if they want the possibility to do a quick failover, if everything was lost, we can also enable disaster recovery as a service. And Veeam powered service for SaaS and public clouds, of course, we have the possibility to do backup and disaster data protection for Salesforce, Microsoft 365, and all the well-known public clouds, Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud, IBM Cloud. The Veeam platform, it has been a while since Veeam just started with a backup of virtual machines, let's say on Hyper-V and on VMware vSphere. The portfolio of products has been grown extensively. So we still have, let's say, Microsoft and the VMware support in the local data center, but we also support Nutanix, the Acropolis hypervisor. We now have support also for the Red Hat virtualization. And of course, we have the agents now for Windows Server, Linux. And of course, we have NAS backup or file share backup as a possibility. We do have support. It's a takeover of Kasten. It's a separate solution at this moment, but we have support for Kubernetes environments also, including Tanzu of VMware. We have support for physical devices like Windows desktops, macOS, Linux, you name it. And of course, the support of public cloud. We can back up virtual machines on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud. If we have also we are a VMware hosting partner, and we installed the Veeam Cloud, the VMware Cloud Orator, sorry, we can enable backup there with our Veeam backup environment also. And of course, Kubernetes in the public cloud, we support them also. Support for SaaS cloud, SaaS applications. We have Microsoft 365, of course, also Microsoft Teams. And coming soon, I think it's still in beta, but it will be released quite soon, is support for Salesforce. Because most of those SaaS environments, the data is yours and their responsibility is mainly keeping up their services, but the data is your responsibility to back up. Then let's have a look at the ProPartner portal and some other resources. For those who are already a Veeam partner, the ProPartner portal is your main source of information as a partner. You can find updated price lists, free product certification, more in a few seconds. Program guides and product information, promotions, marketing tools, and one important one is recorded webinars and demos. They are available also on the public side, but not all webinars are on there because we still have partner-specific webinars with content that's not meant for end users. So if you go to Partner ProPartner, you get access to more webinars, recorded webinars. And I have to say, this is the moment to go there because we had Veeam on, let's say a month ago, and a lot of those sessions are also available there, and quite a few new sessions about the upcoming releases, talks about new features, and so on. A separate part of the ProPartner portal is the VCSP Welcome Hub. That's especially for you as a Veeam service provider partner. There you can find all necessary info about being a service provider, how to report, how to access all the tools. Even this guide is on there also on the partner portal. So please have a look. When we send you this PDF, the links will be enabled. So with just one click of the mouse, you have access to the right page on the partner. Certifications. For those who didn't know it, Veeam has 4 levels of certification, branded like VMware, Veeam Sales Professional, Veeam Technical Sales Professional, for free, available on ProPartner or the subsection Veeam IQ. At this moment, still the version of 2021. We expect an update soon. And then we have the more technical, the Veeam Certified Engineer, which evolves with the versions, and the Veeam Certified Architect, more for the design people. VMCE, VMCA are, class-based, mostly virtual now since Corona, courses paid for. And the exams are also paid for through an exam center, so it's not for free and online. A new one, and which will be required for the Veeam Service Provider Partnership, is the VMXP, which is a kind of a sales for free sales certification, new, just released a few months ago. About everything about backup as a service, disaster recovery as a service. So the link will be active when we send it. So please do it sooner as possible because it's a requirement for the Veeam Service Provider Partnership. How to get started for those who aren't yet a VCSP partner. It's quite simple. You click on the link and you register as a VCSP partner. Select your preferred aggregator. Would be nice if it would be Tech Data, of course. And then you have a choice. Agree the contract terms of the volume rental agreement, and you can start. You can start as a no commit. You will see that prices will get better when you sign a commit agreement, but later on more. And then, of course, you get access to the VCSP Pulse portal. More on that later. And you can simply buy your own without ordering some license or whatever. Simply make a request for licenses. You almost get them immediately. Download them. Download the software from VCSP Pulse website also. And you can start installing. And of course, the only obligation you really have is report monthly your usage, which can be done through, which must be done through Pulse, the portal, but which can be enabled through the service provider console. There is also a VCSP competency program. At this moment, it just helps you by giving you if you do the certifications, competencies where we acknowledge you as a VCSP ready reseller for backup as a service for Microsoft 365 offsite, if you use Cloud Connect, MSP backup offerings, and so on. At this moment, financial benefits are low, but you're mentioned with your competencies on the reseller ready partner directory, which means that's on the public side. If a customer, an end user, is looking for a reseller who offers them backup as a service for Microsoft 365, they will more easily find you as a partner, and you will get leads also from Veeam directly for your competencies. Purpose-built products for service providers. There are two big products for service provider that are only available to you as a service provider that a regular end user cannot use. And the first one is the Veeam Cloud Connect. Veeam Cloud Connect, it's for free for you as a service provider, of course. And Veeam Cloud Connect has two functionalities. Veeam Cloud Connect will enable you to create an offsite backup function as an external backup repository for the end user, and disaster recovery as a service. So if we connect the Veeam Cloud Connect to a virtualization environment behind, let's say vSphere, the customer can set up replication directly to the Veeam Cloud via the Veeam Cloud Connect to your vSphere environment you have, and can immediately do, or you can set up a disaster recovery and service for the customer. So if the customer uses this complete environment, you can simply put it up within your vSphere environment and have the customer up and running quite quickly. So it's a multi-tenant architecture. You just set it up once and you can add all your customers to the same installation. Of course, it's end-to-end encryption, no need for VPNs. It uses TLS to make the connections to your customers. Integration with VMware Cloud Director, of course, and direct integration with Veeam Backup Replication on the customer side. So even if they don't use service provider license that you install it, if they have their own environment, they can, with just a few clicks, enable your Cloud Connect or connect to your Cloud Connect and use it as a backup, external backup repository. Another product, Veeam One for service providers, it's quite the same as Veeam One as we know it in the resell branch of the product. It's the monitoring tool, not always installed because Essentials has it within it, but not all people or not all resellers are installing Veeam One there. But please do and use it. It's a super monitoring tool. It will help you also as a service provider to have a more in-depth view of your customers' environment and help you in troubleshooting. And it monitors also your Veeam Cloud Connect performance. So it's a win-win to just use it. And then, of course, the Veeam Service Provider Console, version 6 at this moment. It's really, as a service provider, your main center of control. It will help you with reporting. You can set up billing if you would like that based on the reporting. And of course, it has remote monitoring and management of your customer environments. And it will be getting better on version 7. With version 7, for instance, you will even be able to patch and update the environments of your customers throughout the Veeam Service Provider Console. So really almost no need anymore to dial in to your customer's environment. You can simply do license management, backup management and restore management, and also now upgrade and patching of the environment itself through the Veeam service provider console. Licensing and usage reporting. So first of all, we can manage the licensing at your customer site through the service provider console. And of course, one of the things you must do is each month report, mainly in the beginning of the month, you have to report the usage of the previous month. That can be, not say automated, but facilitated through the service provider console. Like every product now from Veeam, we have a quite extensive portfolio of APIs, RESTful APIs that you can use to DevOps or to automate yourself or create portals for your customers to automate stuff for your customers or give them some self-service capabilities. With version 7, for instance, there will be out of the box a self-service file level restore possibility for the agents. So if you have customers who back up their physical laptops with agents from Veeam directly to your Veeam service provider, Veeam Cloud Connect, you can give them through the service provider console access to a sort of self-service portal to do file level restores by themselves if they need a file back or something. Version 7, it's always it's the first beta at this moment, so we're not always sure if everything will be within it, but normally there will be also with version 7 support for Microsoft for backup for Microsoft 365 within the service provider console. Licensing. Previously, and that's changed a little bit in the beginning of the service provider partnership and the console with Veeam. It was said, you just ask for one big license file, and from the Veeam service provider console, you distribute it. At this moment, the preferred way of working is that you ask for every customer within Veeam Pulse in the Pulse portal for each customer a license file, which is, let's say, made to the needs of the end user environment. And then you put it in the Veeam service provider console and distribute it to the customer side. And of course, on the installation on the customer side, please enable the automatic update of the license file, because typically a Veeam rental key is just good for 60 days. But if you're in good understanding, you do monthly reporting and there are not no complaints, let's say, you're good in a good understanding with the Veeam. With the automatic update, they will be automatically updated at the end or by the end of the 60 days. Do you need to grow the environment? Simply go back to Pulse, ask a bigger key, and almost immediately you will get a new bigger key. There is also, but I'll talk later on the keys. There is a kind of grace number within the number of licenses. So a VCSP rental management at this moment, let's say within the console, Veeam backup application, Veeam agents, and the Veeam backup for Microsoft 365. The implementation is quite simple. It's a free product, so you even don't have to report the usage of the service provider console. You simply install the service console and the Veeam Cloud Connect. You simply add to the console. You need a license, but you simply choose any of your service provider licenses for Veeam backup application, put that in the console, and it's licensed. You connect your service provider console to the Veeam Cloud Connect, and you can start discovering and deploying Veeam agents to your customers. So you need to install an agent in your customer's environment, and you can start managing them from there. And of course, deactivate license auto updates will save you a lot of work and a lot of time. Licensing. Two types of contract. There is a no commit, so you can start off there with Veeam. So you simply report, and that's it. There is no minimum commit. Of course, once you grow and you are steady in reporting every month a certain number of points, we'll talk about them later. It can be more advantage for you. Just call it, the price will drop per point if you commit to a certain minimum commit. Of course, if you report a month below that commit, you still will have to pay the minimum commit, but the prices will be lower. And the minimum commit is quite low. The minimum commit for the lowest contract is 200 points a month. How are points calculated? First of all, if we simply look at the backup and replication part and the Veeam agents for physicals. Here we still have the 3 editions. So you can still, with Veeam backup and replication, within as a service provider, choose between Standard, Enterprise, and Enterprise Plus. Something you don't have, let's say, anymore with the traditional resale model. So we see for a simple virtual machine, a standard. If you use the standard feature edition, it costs you 5 points. As VM in the enterprise will be 9 points, and Enterprise Plus will be 11 points. Servers, meaning physical servers, it's always 12 points because functionality for the physical agent for the server does not differ from standard Enterprise and Enterprise Plus. Workstation, idem. It's 4 points, any edition. Backup of NAS devices. Also, there is no difference between the 3 editions, so it stays at 10 points for 500 gigabytes of NAS backup. And cloud VMs, think about the Azure and so on. Cloud VMs is 11 points also for a virtual machine there. We have add-ons. So if a customer wants to use your Veeam Cloud Connect, a server will be priced at 7 points, a virtual machine 5 points, more on that later on. Workstation 3 points. And if you want a replica, disaster recovery as a service, it's 10 points. Veeam One, separate product, but nice to have for monitoring, is 2 points a unit. Depending on what you're using, monitoring, VM, physical, you name it. Veeam Availability Orchestrator is also available for service providers. So to orchestrate your disaster recovery failover, it's 11 points a virtual machine. And then we still have other products like Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365. It's 1.5 points for a user. We have the Veeam Management Pack, rarely used, but that's 45 points a socket, CPU socket. And then, of course, we have Veeam Agents for IBM and Oracle Solaris, which is 11 points a server, and the Kubernetes, which is 320 points a node. But more on the Cloud Connect because it's a special one, let's say. Well, first points, of course. So the no commit, these are the MSRP prices for 2022. So if you start with no commit, every point is 0.77 euros. And the higher your commit, it goes down to for 100,000 points commit to 45 cents, euro cents per point. But please contact us, and normally my colleagues who will go over the reportings, who validate them, will keep an eye on them, and normally will notify you also when you reach a certain critical point where it could be beneficial for you to go to a higher commit plan. Commit plan is also, or commit contract is also, it's always for a year. You can go up within that year, but you can't go down within that year. A word about Veeam Cloud Connect. So we all saw the points that we have to calculate, but with Veeam Cloud Connect, some things are free. So if we have a look at the end user side, if we simply are acting as a managed service provider, so nothing is coming external to the customer, we simply are using our rental licenses or the licenses that the subscription licenses that the customer already have. We just offer the services. Then on your side, we have nothing. And yeah, you simply report the usage of your rental licenses or simply use the customer's licenses. If we look at offsite backup and DRaaS, disaster recovery as a service, then if you're managing the customer side also, and you're using their rental license, so you're reporting monthly the usage of the Veeam backup application licenses within your usage report, then the usage of the Veeam Cloud Connect backup functionality with rental license is for free. So if that would be Enterprise Plus level for a virtual machine, that will cost you 11 points, but you don't report the Veeam Cloud Connect backup points for those virtual machines. If the customer has his own Veeam backup application license, although you're, as a service provider, you're managing them, but if he has his own perpetual or subscription licenses and you're using the Veeam Cloud Connect, then you have to report the Veeam Cloud Connect backup. And in the case of DRaaS, it doesn't matter if you're using rental licenses, local, or customer licenses, let's say, you always report the Veeam Cloud Connect replication within your reporting. And of course, public cloud protection, that's just reporting of the number of Azure, AWS virtual machines, and of course, the number of users for Microsoft 365. Usage reporting, the easiest way is to use the service provider console to take your reports of your consumption and then send the reports to VCSP Pulse or add them in VCSP Pulse and let's say send them to us for review as an aggregator. And then of course, normally this should be done preferable before the 10th day of each month. Through the console, you can get reports on your licensing. That's a view of the report here. So you get an overview of all the agents, Cloud Connect usage, and so on. And for your own, you can see by company. That's the nicest thing. If you use separate license files, you can view the number of points used by every customer. How to get an active rental key? Yeah, or if it's a new customer, you simply go to Veeam Pulse and make a request, which is normally automatically fulfilled. So you immediately get your new key. And of course, if you installed and use the key in an environment at your customer, simply enable the auto update, and after 60 days or before the 60th day is over, it will be auto updated. Here you see how it's done with a link to the manual help center, the docs, how with a few more words. VCSP Pulse, it's a platform or it's a portal more where you can do end-to-end automation from reporting and billing, enrollment and contracting, and licensing. So it's It's one circle, everything you need for licensing, reporting, and of course, billing will be shown there, and enrollment and contracting. So will be done through there. It's a collaboration platform because the 3 tiers are on it. Veeam, who's the owner of the portal, business intelligence and entitlement management, aggregation, usage reporting and lead share, where we come in. And then, of course, you as a partner, where you can access your on-demand licensing, you do your research, usage reporting, and you can have a look at your month-to-month tracking, so you can see how you're growing, how steady you are at a certain level of reporting number of points, so you can maybe decide on getting to a higher minimum commit. License key management, of course, and the usage reporting, all done through the VCSP BaaS portal. Login. If you're on the starter page of the Veeam ProPartner portal, VCSP BaaS zone, there is a link also to VCSP BaaS. No worries there. Or you can use this link to go immediately to the VCSP BaaS. I would love to show you, but I have no demo account to the VCSP BaaS. So if I would log in, people who at this moment already are a Veeam service provider could see their info, so I won't do that. But on the BaaS site, there are also a bunch of how-to videos who explain how to do the reporting, how to request a key. So it's quite easy to use. License key generations, simply go to the rental agreement, select the agreement, and then manage licenses, and then simply click on request a new license. So by default, a new license you will get, there is, well, it has to be renewed, let's say, within 60 days. And there is an overcommit of 20 VMs or 20%, whatever is greater. So let's say you have a license key for 10 VMs for Veeam backup application, you could go to the backup of 30 VMs without needing to upgrade the license to a higher amount. Marketing and sales resources, they're quite an extensive. Yeah, of course, we have the Veeam Power Service Directory, where all partners, service provider partners are listed. Especially think about competencies. It makes you shine or stand out more within the list. And of course, you need to apply for the directory. Then ProPartner Network Launch Resource Center. So on the ProPartner network side, we have the Veeam IQ courses. We have the Partner Ready FAQ and customer scenario cards. Just have a look at them. It's more marketing tools. You can use them as a source to build your own marketing stuff or collateral to send to your customers. Can be inspiration for them. You also have, which is a nice one, a return on investment calculator to do some price calculations if you want. Campaigns. There will be probably quite soon a new V12 campaign, but new on ProPartner, there is also VCSP Tech Hub, which more technical information, blueprints for deploying, updating installations, integrating Cloud Connect with Veeam backup application, and so on, and also quite a lot and still growing technical how-to videos. So please have a look there or send the links to your afterwards to your technicians. They can have a look at them also. A marketing success center. Yeah, it's just a marketing concierge where you can set up campaigns, send mails to your customers with your own branding, and of course, co-branded with Veeam, of course. And you can access marketing development funds or ask for them, but there are requirements to be able to ask them and get them of Veeam, of course. So a few frequently asked questions. Can I install Veeam rental license on an end user's infrastructure? Yes, Veeam is quite flexible there. You can, but you have to do, let's say, 95% of management. I say it's no longer 100% because we have self-service portals nowadays where, especially with version 7, for file level restores where customers can do their own restore, but still it's you as a partner who has to do, let's say, 95% of all management, especially everything which has to do with putting on or setting up the environment, setting up the backup jobs and so on, monitoring, that should be done by you. But some self-service is allowed, but you can use service provider licensing at the customer side. One acceleration, that's an advantage against, yeah, let's say, the regular one acceleration. If you use one acceleration to connect to the Veeam Cloud Connect, it's available from the Veeam Backup and Replication Enterprise Edition. So people can start a level lower with using one acceleration there or to the Cloud Connect. All installation files, you can access them through the console or simply via Pulse portal. Do I need two separate Veeam Cloud Connect consoles to manage Veeam Cloud Connect backup for VMs and Veeam agents? Nope. It's a one installation, one setup. You're getting warnings about licensing or messages that licenses are going to expire. Check if the auto update feature is enabled. If it's not, enable it, or manually update the license file every 60 days. I would say enable the auto update. So you get a message that the license backup VM count has been exceeded. Well, it's time to go to Pulse and ask for a bigger key, but do not worry if there wasn't really a big peak in the license consumption. You still have the grace amount of 20% or 20 VMs, which one is greater. Link to the Veeam team, of course. You can always contact us, the Tech Data team. Our phone number is the 02-583-8310. And of course, we all have the well-known software email address, which is tdaas_software@techdata.be. Are there any questions at this moment? You can type them in chat if you want. Because this was the end of my part of the presentation. So I would say it's now the moment to, if you have any questions, any remark, please share them. Happy to answer them or try to answer them. Oh, if there are any more questions, I would like to thank you all for joining this Partner Academy, the first one regarding service providers. Normally you should, within a week, receive an email and it will contain the guide which I talked about, so you have immediately access to the links within it. So thank you very much for joining, and see you next time.